This is what my jig looks like. Simple enough. 2 pieces of wood joined perpendicular to one another. Basically, it's a straight edge guide with a bit of a distance marker to tell me exactly where the saw blade is going to start cutting the material. Now, if I want to cut this piece of material at exactly this line, here's how I use my jig to easily do it. I position the jig with a distance marker at exactly the point where I want to cut the material. I clamp it in place at both ends. You'll notice that this distance is the exact distance between the edge of the saw and where the blade will cut. So now, all I have to do is follow along the jig to make my cut. Let me show you how easy it is to make this type of jig. Use a 3-foot piece of 1x4 and about 18 inches of 1x2. Check them to make sure they're perfectly straight without any warps or bends. Place the 2 pieces at right angles to one another. Allow this end to extend just a little bit further than the distance from the edge of the power tool and where the blade will actually cut. Now, mark either side with a pencil. Then, apply some wood glue, which is an optional step but will provide a much stronger bond. Use a square to make sure they are perfectly at right angles to one another. Clamp the 2 pieces in place. Double check to make sure that the 2 pieces are still at right angles to one another. Use a drill to make a few pilot holes. Now, attach the 2 pieces together using wood screws that are no longer than 1.5 inches. Finally, trim the 1x2 using the saw and keeping the edge of the power tool against the straight edge of the 1x4 guide. Build a separate jig for each of your power tools. Here, I'm building one for a jigsaw. Here, I'm building a jig for a router with a cutting bit. I'll show you examples of using these jigs in the upcoming chapters.